Hello, hello. What's going on? Okay. Sorry I am late this evening, but I've been having power problems. And yes, I did pay the bill. I did pay the bill. We're just, for some reason, it's really interesting because I'm having all of these power outages here in the state of Texas. And every time the power goes out, it makes me think about Robert Beto Francis, fake Mexican O'Rourke. It makes me think about him every single time because he was saying that the reason why the power is going out is because of Abbott. But the interesting thing is like it sprinkles a little bit and it rains and the power goes out. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why it's happening, but it's really odd to me because when I lived in California, the power, I don't even, be honest with you, I can't even recall the power ever going out. Even when I felt an earthquake, the power didn't go out in California. But since I've been here in Texas, oh my goodness, I can count how many, the power's gone out more times than I care to count. Several times. Quite a few times. And I don't understand. Rumor has it that every time it rains here, someone hit the pole. I'm like, so is it the same pole that they're hitting? Is it a new pole that they're hitting? What is it when it rains, they hit a pole and the power goes out? What is that? If people are hitting the pole, maybe move the pole so people stop hitting the pole. I hope they're safe. I hope no one, is really hurt badly, but move the pole. I don't understand why the power keeps going out. It just sprinkles just a little bit. Power goes out. Okay. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I don't know why I had to share that just because I'm late because the power went out. But anyways, thank you so much for being with me this evening. I know it is late. If you would, please hit the share button, hit the thumbs up. We should be live on Rumble as well. Let me go check. We should be live on Rumble as well here. Yep, we're live on Rumble, and I should be live on YouTube. Let me go verify. Okay, yep. I'm live on YouTube as well. All right, cool beans. All right, so do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up for me on YouTube and Rumble. Hit the thumbs up. Help me get past the algorithms. Help me. And on Facebook, please hit the share button. Hit the share button because that's how it helps out with the algorithms on Facebook, by you hitting the share button. Okay, let's get right into it. Now, I do have some stuff I do want to share with you. It's very interesting. And of course, right? Of course, what is happening right now. Let me change that real quick because that's my bad. I meant to put a different name on the YouTube here. Hold on, bear with me. This is like real time here. I think I can do this here real time. Okay. It should be just a couple clicks there. Even though I am black, I do know how to use the internet, regardless of what people say. But anyways, okay. So tomorrow looks like they're going to actually do it tomorrow. That's the story now. That's the rumor now. And it's really interesting to me that they're planning on doing this tomorrow. And there's like going ahead with this when this is completely fraudulent. It is. Did you know in the state of New York, not Texas, but the state of New York? I don't even know what it is when it comes to the state of Texas, but in the state of New York, when I guess when it's a misdemeanor or whatever it is that takes place, the statute of limitation, when it comes to this episode with President Trump and Stormy Daniels, that's when that is considered to be a 2-year, what do they call it? I just lost my train of thought here. Statute of limitation is only 2 years for this. They could have extended it to 5 years during the time, but it's only 2 years for statute of limitation. 2. Now, even if they extended it to 5 years, it's been 7. So just like they did Brett Kavanaugh, they went way back in time with Brett Kavanaugh to try to say, look what you did here, Brett Kavanaugh. And it was a total lie, right? Had nothing to do with him being a Supreme Court justice, just like Stormy Daniels has nothing to do with President Trump being president, not like it was with Paula Jones and Bill Clinton when Bill Clinton was in the White House. Let's not talk about that, right? Oh, no. But you know, if they do this tomorrow and they actually go through with this, then Obama needs to be arrested, right? Because Obama knew how is it not a crime that he did not know that they were spying on President Trump? How is that not a crime? He knew about it. You can't tell me that he didn't know about it. You cannot tell me that Obama did not know that they were spying on Trump, candidate Trump at the time. Not something that when you had the FBI organize it, doing it, you can't tell me that he didn't know. So he should be arrested for that alone. There's a number of other things I can think of, but for that alone, because should be against the law. It goes against the Constitution, does it not? And then you have the Clintons. Oh my goodness, the Clintons. Look at the corruption that's followed the Clintons, even the body bags that follow the Clintons. They need to be arrested. The whole fake dossier that came about with the Clintons. They didn't arrest them on that, right? We know that they spent money to produce this fake dossier, and then they tried to cover it up. And they found out that they tried to cover it up, but nothing happened. You need to do arrest warrants for them as well. A DA somewhere in the country needs to do arrest warrants for them. If you're going to do it, they need to get on with it and do all of them. And then it comes down to Clinton, Bill Clinton, Paula Jones, like I mentioned. He paid her off while he was in office. Hello, can we do that? And then Bush taking the United States of America to war. You had military Americans die in a war because they were looking for weapons of mass destruction. And Bush, I didn't like Bush then. I don't like Bush now. Bush was the rhino then and the rhino now because it's the establishment. See, most people didn't really understand the establishment. We talked about the establishment, but we didn't really understand it. A lot of people didn't understand it until President Trump came along. So now here we are, where they're getting ready to do this. And like I said, allegedly tomorrow they're going to arrest President Trump. Or they're going to start to actually, because I think they said the court resumes tomorrow to do this. That's what they're saying. Maybe some more information has come out since the last time I looked at it. You can leave me a comment, let me know, and say, Will, look at this. I'm going to try to look at some of the comments, okay? I'm going to try to look at some of them. But I want y'all to see this. Look at this. This is on the Communist News Network, and I talked about this today. I talked about this on my Lindell TV show. I talked about this on my LFA network show. Okay, I talked about this because, and for those of you that haven't seen this, listen to this, because the gentleman on the other side, he's gonna be telling Erin Burnett the truth. He's literally gonna be telling her the truth, and I want y'all to pay attention to what she does. She's gonna look down. Like, I got more important things to, look at down here. And then he's going to say something about Trump being a bad guy, possibly a bad guy. And then she looks back up. But this is a 2-part clip. There's another female and another clip right after this. She's going to do the exact same thing. It's not even Erin Burnett. I don't know the lady's name in the next right after this. But her, Erin Burnett, pay attention to this. Because when he says the truth, this is what demons do. Demons, they look away, right? They don't even look at, for example, when demons see Christ, they look away. They don't want to see. They look away. They look away. You understand what I'm saying? They look away. Just like when demons hear the truth, they look away. They don't want to hear the truth. They look away. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You're going to see it. See, this is how you know that this demonic spirit has possessed these people. Watch how she reacts to this. And also hit the share button while you're at it. Listen to this.
And at the end of the day, I think everybody understands that these particular charges, as contrived as they may be, they wouldn't be brought against any American not named Donald Trump.
You hear this? Not any American not named Donald Trump. They wouldn't even be doing this if his name was not Donald Trump. Would not be doing this. Now watch what she does. Watch, because he's telling the truth.
And that's the part that, as a former prosecutor and a lawyer, troubles me the most, because
you see how she's looking at? Yep, trying to deflect, trying to get him to move on. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? That's because the demon in her does not want to hear the truth. Watch.
And a lawyer troubles me the most because just because you have a bad man.
See, and then she looks up. Just because you have a bad man, she goes, oh yeah. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. Then she looks up. You can't make this stuff up. See, this is because the demon that's in them. They don't want to hear the truth. Okay, and I'm going to take it back to here, and I'm not going to stop it. I'm actually going to even let it go on to the next part with the next part 2 of this, because the next lady is going to do the exact same thing. Watch.
And a lawyer troubles me the most because just because you have a bad man, a potentially bad man, or somebody who's not well liked, you shouldn't distort the Justice Department or the justice decisions in order to get him.
Americans who are tuning in and watching this are looking at shoplifting and crime. They're hearing about people being assaulted in the city and being let free. And
Look. Who does that? Look, you see that? It's the exact same thing. It's that same spirit. It's the same spirit. The exact same spirit. Do you see it? Look, I mean, like I'm saying, I pay, you know what? I'll admit, there might be something wrong with Will Johnson because I pay attention to stuff like this because it's little subtle stuff. A lot of people don't ever see it, but it's the exact same thing. He's telling the truth. The demon in her, the spirit, evil demon in her, don't want to hear it. So the demon wants to look away. See, that's what they do. Think about what I'm telling you. This is a spiritual battle and it's happening. You see it right there. The demon wants to look away. Watch.
People being assaulted in the city and being let free in New York City. And yet they see the district attorney now going and judging up these 7-year-old charges. And I think that's the point that Governor DeSantis is trying to make. And I think that resonates with a lot of Republican voters, not so much the pure Trump part of it, but the more political nature of the entire prosecution.
You see that? See, everything they said. You have the criminals will cause all of this criminal activity, and then they let the criminals out onto the street. And there's videos of these same criminals that are being let back out because of cashless bail, or they just let them out for no reason. They just let them out. They go out and they commit more crimes, but they don't want to pay attention to that. No, they can't pay attention to that. What's more important to them is bringing up charges that were dead in the water, trying to revive it like it's Frankenstein, trying to give it life, just so they can go after President Trump. Something over 7 years ago. 7 years ago. Already ran out of his statute of limitation. Already gone. Did you know? I've said this so many times. You have the left, the federal government, the DOJ, the FBI, the IRS, the FTC, the FAA. Am I missing did I say the IRS? I mean, every single government organization, and now the judicial system, the law, they are weaponizing it against the American people. You can't make this stuff up. They're literally weaponizing it against us, and they're doing this on purpose.
You begin to see that our legal institutions themselves are untrustworthy. They've become corrupted. They've become politically biased and motivated. And that really is the most dangerous thing, quite frankly, in a constitutional republic, is to lose the notion of respect for law.
In a constitutional republic, not the democracy. You know, we have a democracy. That means you get to select the person that you want to represent you. You get to go to the poll and select the person that you believe is going to have your best interest at heart. That's what a democracy is. We are not a democracy. We utilize democracy. We utilize it, but we are a constitutional republic. The left, they don't acknowledge that. You know who else used to call themselves a democracy? A group of people back in the 1930s, 1940s, Germany. Do you know who I'm referring to without me even saying it? Yes, you do. Even the trolls know exactly what I'm talking about. 1930s, 1940s, Germany. They used to say the exact same thing the left is saying today. The exact same thing the left is saying today. So now you have this DA in New York, and all he's trying to do is make a name for himself. He wants everyone to be like, look at me. I'm the one who got President Trump and put him in handcuffs. Look at me. I have status. Yay. That's all this is about. You can't tell me that him taking the law and twisting arresting President Trump, they should be charged because he's making the law up as he goes just so they can get what they want. Who does that? Who does that? So let me put it into perspective here. Let's just say the FBI shows up at your door and the FBI says, look, you broke XYZ law. And you say, well, you know what? Nope, I am changing the law. I identify as that law is something else. Because see, that's what's happening here. They identify that President Trump's charge should be a federal offense instead of just a misdemeanor. And a lot of people pay off people even when they're not even running for political office. A lot of people pay off people because they want to make the issue go away. They pay off people because it's going to look bad for their business. They pay off people because it's going to look bad for their family. There's a number of reasons why people pay people off. And in the state of New York, it's not illegal. It's not illegal. So they're trumping up, no pun not intended, but they're trumping up this whole fraudulent thing just so they can say that they got him. And all this is doing is drumming up more support for President Trump. I'm telling you, because he is the one that they're attacking. It's to their best interest if they just leave President Trump alone, but they can't do that.
Our next guest has been highly critical of Bragg, arguing he's bringing the case back from the dead. Jonathan Turley is with us now. Jonathan, why would he do that?
Well, this is the ultimate grave digger's indictment. He went back 7 years to dig up what's really a misdemeanor under New York law. And he's trying to use that to combine it with parts of the federal code to litigate a federal election violation that the Department of Justice declined to bring to court, declined to charge. Now, if that's not weird enough, he has to be able to make that linkage because he's run out of time. I mean, the statute of limitations on that misdemeanor is just 2 years. So there's a great deal of problem with this indictment that's being reported in the media. But the real problem, I think, ultimately is the weaponization of the criminal justice system for political purposes.
There it is. Exactly what I've been saying, exactly what many people have been saying. They've weaponized it. What have they not weaponized against the American people? Is this our United States of America? These people, these same people that we grew up with, these same people that were our neighbors, these same people that were our classmates, these same people that we probably at one point maybe have gone to church with, the same people that we probably walked past in the grocery store, the same people that we probably been on an airplane with, the same people that say they love this country. They're the ones that's doing this. They're the ones that have weaponized the problems in America. They have weaponized every organization in this nation. Every organization in this nation. Had to say it again. They have weaponized everything. And he's so spot on.
The problem, I think, ultimately is the weaponization of the criminal justice system for political purposes. I mean, Bragg has just given Donald Trump the ultimate case positive of his claim that the system is being used for political purposes. I do think this is a political prosecution. Bragg himself threw a flag on this play. When he came into office, he stopped this case from moving forward. 2 of his prosecutors resigned. Yeah. And then there was this public campaign to pressure him to move forward.
Really? You see this? They're pressuring him to move forward. You got to do this now. You got to do this because this is becoming a problem. It's becoming a major problem. How do we stop President Trump in 2024? How do we stop him? If we don't stop him now, he's going to rally the people up. He's going to rally the people together to stand against us. They're going to rally the people against us. This is a problem for them. Look at this one. Look at this one. Watch this. Watch this.
Bragg unearthed the case from 2019 and through a series of novel steps is seeking to bring it back to life. You also, though, detail and write about Bragg attempting something you say many lawyers think is as improbable as the reanimation of the dead. Explain further and what we're about to see happen. What do the next couple of days hold?
Well, there's a host of legal principles designed to keep this from happening. That, you know, you're taking something that has a statute of limitations of 2 years and trying to bring it back to life 7 years later. But also you have the Manhattan DA trying to effectively litigate a federal crime that the federal government.
Okay, let me stop it real quick. Because it's a key point that I want to make sure people did not miss, right? There's a key point there. The statute of limitations where this is 7 years old. And again, in this particular instance, it was only a 2 years statute of limitation. They could have extended the file like I mentioned earlier, but they didn't do that. And even if they did, it's been 7 years. It still would have been past the statute of limitation. So what are they doing here? They're looking for, let me tell you this. They're looking for a dead body, right? This is an analogy here. They're saying, basically what they're saying is that President Trump murdered somebody. There's no missing persons report. There's no evidence of a crime taking place. There's no chalk outline of a body on the ground or anywhere. There's no weapon that someone just happened to find. There's nothing there, but they're fishing. They're looking for something. Just find something. We know there's a body out there somewhere. Somebody's got to be missing somewhere, even though there's no missing persons report. There's somebody we got to keep looking. That's what they're doing here to President Trump. That's what they're doing.
Well, there's a host of legal principles designed to keep this from happening. That, you know, you're taking something that has a statute of limitations of 2 years and trying to bring it back to life 7 years later. But also you have the Manhattan DA trying to effectively litigate a federal crime that the federal government didn't feel needed to be litigated, didn't bring to court. All of that is troubling in and of itself. But you then combine that with the timing here. We're in the middle of a presidential election, and you have Bragg going to these extraordinary steps to try to prosecute Donald Trump. And for Trump, he could not have hoped for.
Now listen to this, because I completely agree. And I've said this so many times, it would be to the left's best interest to call this DA and tell them to let up, not to do this, to stop. It would be to their interest. But I think the reason why they're pressuring him to do it, because he's going to end up being the fall guy for this. And I think another reason why they're pressuring him to do this, because they want to deflect of, you know, the banking system, the banking problem that we're having in the country. They want to deflect from that. Not only from the banking system, the whole Biden crime family, all of the information coming out about that. They want to deflect from that. So now is the time, and they're pressuring him to do this so everyone will pay attention to President Trump. Pay attention to President Trump. Don't pay attention to everything else that they're doing, but pay attention to President Trump.
A better case to start with. He's being threatened on a number of fronts. If he had to choose, this would be it. I mean, because Bragg is completing the narrative. He's giving him an example of the very thing that Trump has been complaining about, that he's being targeted for political purposes.
Exactly. You know what Bragg is doing exactly what President Trump has been saying all along. This just proves that President Trump was what? President Trump was what? Right again. President Trump was right again. He was right again. I mean, they keep making him out to be right. It's to their best interest just to ignore Trump, but they can't help it. You know why they can't help it? Because they're terrified, because the reason why the country and the world is in the position that it's in right now. And I'm talking about people actually paying attention to the lying liberal media, people paying attention to this fraudulent government, this tyrannical government, people paying attention to what's happening around the world, people paying attention to our southern border, people paying attention to the energy crisis, people paying attention, just simply paying attention. You can blame it on Trump because he was the president of the United States of America. And being that he was the president of the United States of America, he was letting the cat out the bag. Oh my goodness. There's never, ever been a president that actually been so blunt in my lifetime to sit there and tell people, hey, this is the fake news. The government's the swamp, the corrupt. I'm telling everybody the truth. You would never get that out of Mike Pence. Mike Pence would have never said that. Oh my goodness, no, he wouldn't have. Bush didn't say it. Bush didn't say it. The closest thing that we ever got to that was Ronald Reagan. Because you go back and listen to some of the stuff that Ronald Reagan was saying, it's pretty much close to what President Trump was saying today. Not plagiarism like Joe Biden, because it's a different time. President Trump doesn't have to repeat what Ronald Reagan said, but Joe Biden will do it, trying to make it like it's something original that he's saying. But President Trump is just saying all of the stuff that he's saying right now today because it's happening to him. This never happened. And you know what's another thing that's really kind of disturbing is that they were trying to get it to where the Secret Service would be separated from President Trump. You know that, right? If you ask me, my personal opinion, they wanted to Epstein President Trump. You understand what I'm saying? They wanted to Epstein him. And because they've been very unsuccessful on trying to figure out how to JFK him. You understand what I'm telling you? So they couldn't JFK President Trump. So now they're trying to figure out how they can Epstein President Trump. But the Secret Service is not going to allow that to happen. Because the Secret Service, if they take Trump to jail, the Secret Service go to jail with him. He's going to always have protection. That's the Constitution. They can't change that, no matter how much they try. And you know they want to make exceptions because the left, they do not like the Constitution. They hate the Constitution. These people are evil. Let me show you this nut job here. Oh, my goodness. You know who this is? This dude went to prison for lying. You hear what I'm telling you? He went to prison for lying. And this is the guy that the left is like, oh, yes, Michael Cohen told us that President Trump did X, Y, Z. He told us that President Trump paid off Stormy Daniels. He told us. So the guy that went to prison for lying is the same guy that the demons believe. See, is it starting to make sense to you? See, demons will believe the lies coming from other demons, people that are possessed with demonic spirits. That's exactly what this is all about. Is people possessed with demonic spirits. When you start seeing the people as spirits, you'll see the demonic spirit in them. It just starts showing up. You have to ask God to give you insight. Ask for the Holy Spirit to show you the truth. And you can't help it. The truth is just present itself. Like this dude here, going to prison for lying. And listen to what he says, because they're asking, how do you think President Trump feels about what they're getting ready to do to him?
When you see Donald Trump on Saturday try to announce his own arrest, what do you see him doing there?
This is really panic and fear. He knows what's coming on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. He knows what's coming down the pike.
Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. He knows what's coming down the pike. Again, President Trump has not committed any crimes, but again, they don't care. They truly don't care. Michael Cohen went to prison for lying, but they bring him on as if he's saying truthful and factual information. Now, supposedly, allegedly, that he may be called back in to come back in and testify to give his story again, because he's been lying to everybody. And the only reason why this DA is running with this story is because of Michael Cohen, because they're believing this guy that went to prison as factual information. Listen to this.
Necessary today, according to them. Mr. Costello said several things. I'll start with a fairly narrow one.
He sure did. He said a lot of things today.
As a narrow matter, he asserted that he says you are testifying again on Wednesday. Is that true?
Okay, so very much like most of everything that came out of his mouth, he lacks for any sense of veracity here. There's no accuracy to his statement. I have not been asked to come back on Wednesday. And moreover, something that you would know as well, prosecutors will not tell you if you are or you're not coming back. They just don't do that. They'll let you know at the last moment or at least the day before. So how he has this specific information just goes to show you he is exactly who he is. And that, of course, would be Rudy Giuliani's attorney.
Now, again, let me bring it back to perspective here. The only reason why the DA think that they have anything is because of Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen probably doesn't want to be questioned about the lies that he's been putting out there. Wouldn't it be interesting if he end up in prison again for lying? I mean, wouldn't it just be interesting? It's almost like this is what it makes me think about. When I was younger and I was a kid, I remember being outside, just out outside playing at the playground. And there's this field. And this field had these little yellow flowers. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of people call them weeds, but little flowers. And bees would just fly and they would land on the floor and the bee would fly and go to the flower. Well, I remember people just, group of people, everybody was outside because it was a beautiful day. And I remember this kid, he got stung by a bee. And he was so angry, he got stung by a bee. Guess what he did? He didn't have any shoes on either. He was so angry that he got stung by a bee, he was going to show the bee was up, and then he went and stepped on another bee. The bee stung his foot. So he's already got stung in the leg, and now he's stung on the bottom of his foot, and he's angry, and now he's even more angry. So guess what he does? He goes with his other foot and step on the other bee. On another bee, and another bee stings him on the bottom of his foot. It's the exact same thing here. Wouldn't it be something? Because this dude, see, when the truth is not in them, they can't help. They lie. They keep lying. They keep stepping on the bee. They can't learn from the last time when they got stung. So they do it again. Wouldn't it be something if he end up in prison again for lying? I'm just saying. Now, I don't wish anybody going to prison, but dadgummit, this dude is the reason why they're pursuing this.
Yeah, and in this project, I reminded viewers, there is a possibility for someone who may be facing indictment to ask for people to go forward. So that may be a way that we're hearing from him. Do you know about any future testimony from yourself, him, or any other witnesses? Or at this point, you're just standby?
You see, this is the reason I'm asking him this question. And see, Michael Cohen, he doesn't want to go and have to testify for anything. Now, he'll go on these talk shows and run his mouth and just blatantly lie. He'll do that all day, but he doesn't want to go testify because if he goes testify, he's more likely going to lie because the truth is not in him. The truth is not in him. They find it comfortable of lying, and they believe lying to get, to do what they want, to get what they want. The ending result is better to lie.
Yeah. I can tell you emphatically that I have not been asked to come back on Wednesday.
Okay.
Come back on Wednesday. Okay. Now this was before, I'm not even sure. I think this was like the day before yesterday, right? So he knew that this was going down Wednesday. Now, this gentleman that they're referring to, that he's talking about, his name is Costello. This is who they're talking about. Is about Michael Cohen. And he's going to remind everybody how Michael Cohen got to where he is in the first truth that's connected apparently with Rudy Giuliani.
The only thing I'm doing is to picture. Listen, if they want to go after Donald Trump and they have solid, and I used to be deputy chief of the criminal division in the Southern District of New York, I wouldn't have touched a guy like Michael Cohen, especially emails.
I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, see, this is the problem with the left. They don't care that he's a liar. a known liar, a blatant liar, will lie as much as possible. They don't care, work out the rest.
I could see certainly a few of them were doing what you're doing right now, shaking your head up and down. Just remember what I said and say to the prosecutors, listen, we'd like to see the rest of those emails. Andrew. That's pretty, I have a statement here. I'll give it to you people. Yeah. Borrowed pursuant to a HELOC loan. Yeah. And why did you take the loan, Michael?
Huh. Okay.